In this video we are going to replace the AMS map view with the BVMS Operator Client. In this way we can show the operator via video footage whether the person at the door is the same as the owner of the card that has just been scanned. First we have to configure in AMS that we want to do additional verification on the readers. We will start the AMS configuration and open the device data interface. The only thing we ultimately need to configure in AMS is that at the entrances where we want to do video verification, we tell the readers that they must leave the door control to BVMS through additional verification. Next we have to make sure on the BVMS computer that we get control over the AMS configuration. This is done in the BVMS configuration client. AMS and BVMS run on different systems. These systems need to communicate with each other, and that is only possible if they can find each other and have mutual trust. This trust is done through a shared certificate. For this we will use the AMS certificate. It is located in the folder C, Program Files x86, Bosch Sieger HC Access Management System, Certificates. We first copy this certificate file to a USB disk in order to transfer it to the BVMS system. Once there, we just click on the file and Windows will automatically open the certificates console. Then we choose Local Machine. And there are the Trusted Root Certification Authorities store. From now on, both computers trust each other. But now they must also be able to find each other. The systems can find each other by IP address. But now we share certificates and these certificates are bound to hostname, so we need to communicate through the computer name instead of the IP address. If there is an internal DNS system we don't have to worry about it. But if it is missing we have to make provision. First, let's see if we can ping. If pinging on hostname fails, we can enable local name resolution through an internal system. Run Notepad with admin credentials. This is done in a file called hosts. No extension. That file is located in the folder C, Windows, System32, Drivers, etc. We can only modify the file with administrative credentials. All we need to do here is put the IP address and computer name on one line. Thanks to this local name resolution, we have achieved our goal. We can ping by hostname. We open BVMS config client and in the devices page we go to other devices and then access control devices. Here we can add an AMS system to the BVMS device list. Here we need the computer host name, due to the bound certificate on the HTTPS port. Furthermore, we must of course fill in the AMS credentials. If the connection still fails, the AMS computer's firewall may be blocking the incoming connection from port 62904. We start the Windows firewall with Advanced Security. That firewall allows outgoing connections, but only allows incoming connections if a rule allows access. In this case we need to create a port rule for port 62904. And allow all incoming traffic on it. Any protocol. Let's return to BVMS and see if the connection now succeeds. Yes. The firewall allows the connection and AMS can share its configuration with BVMS without any problem. Now we can move on to the Maps and Structure page and select the map and devices we want to see in the operator client. We could use exactly the same map that we otherwise would have chosen in the map view. Here we can add the devices from AMS that we want to show. The camera is already there. Let's add the doors from AMS. Let's make the icons a bit bigger. And change the background to white. for all three icons. You can save the camera images based on door control. This way you can later look back at who has reported to your door. Please note that these recordings may be subject to legal privacy regulations. In the European Union, the General Data Protection Regulation applies. This law consists of several rules, including one that prescribes that the public and employees must be informed in a clear and effective manner about video surveillance. Recording in BVMS is based on schedules, so you can configure a different recording style throughout the day. For example, continuous recording in opening hours and alarm recording in closing hours. For our purpose it doesn't matter. We will configure alarm recording based on authentication on the door. So we color everything yellow 24/7. Central recording in BVMS is done by the Video Recording Manager, or VRM. To iSCSI storage. As recording type, we select alarm recording only. We will slightly change the alarm recording settings. The 10 seconds pre-alarm recording remains within the camera. It is only copied to the iSCSI along with the 30 seconds post-alarm recording when an alarm is triggered. So our recording blocks will always be 40 seconds. An event should be scheduled before it will become an alarm. We will schedule all reader events and some door events. An event can become an alarm, but also a line in a logbook, or it can initiate a script that runs at the server. We will enable all reader events to become an alarm and a logbook entry. Access denied, access granted, access requested, selected for random screening, duress event, and person did not enter. There are also two door events of interest: door open too long, and unauthorized door opening. So now we have decided which events will become an alarm. And on the alarm page we can then decide what happens with these alarms. What will be their priority, for example. When it is 10 or lower, the alarm pane will pop up at the operator's workstation. Each alarm can get another color, so that the operator can better distinguish between the different alarm categories. Access denied will appear with a black flag. We have 5 image panes. On each image pane we can set a camera, a map or a document. We only need to pop up a camera in our video verification application. On each alarm the camera should start the alarm recording. Remember, 10 seconds pre and 30 seconds post-alarm duration. We will repeat this procedure for every other alarm. Access granted, green. Access requested. This is the actual video verification. We color it white. Random screening, orange. Duress event, red. And person not entering, yellow. And the two door events will also get a red flag. Finally, we want to get rid of the unnecessary alarm panes. After all, we only need one. We can easily adjust that in the alarm settings. So now we've configured the connection between AMS and BVMS. We've set up the alarm recording. And we've created a map and some events and alarms. Now let's see what all this leads to in the operator client. We are going to test the application. We asked our intern, Alice Johnson, if she would like to report to the door and present her badge. This is the live view of the BVMS Operator Client. The mouse hovers above the camera and shows the current camera footage. There is Alice. She presents her badge to the reader. BVMS switches to alarm display due to the configured high priority. AMS checks the person and authorization details of Alice and forwards that to BVMS. The operator accepts the alarm and allows access to Alice. She enters. Now let's see how the recording looks. First we see the pre-recording, that initially came from the camera. And then the actual alarm recording starts. That was configured for 30 seconds. We have seen that the BVMS Operator Client is an alternative for the AMS map view. The big advantage of BVMS is that we can do a reliable check at the door to see if the person who reports at the entrance is the same as the one known to us in the system. And above all, BVMS also offers a built-in recording facility. This concludes the 9th tutorial video of AMS 5.0 on video verification with BVMS.